For more videos, press the subscribe button and also turn on the bell notifications to receive the updates directly in your device. Hi and welcome to Nehra Classes YouTube channel. My name is Vikas Nehra and this is session 5 of our ongoing Ansible series. In previous sessions, we have already discussed about the Ansible introduction, why do we require it, advantages of using Ansible, push-based versus pull-based architecture, architecture of Ansible, Ansible terms, Ansible working, Ansible in DevOps, installation of Ansible in RHEL 8, installation of Ansible in Ubuntu, and the Ansible ad hoc commands. And in this session, we will cover up the Ansible modules. We will learn what are the Ansible modules and how do we use them in Ansible. So without wasting time, let's get started. Ansible modules. Modules, also referred to as task plugins or library plugins, are discrete units of codes that can be used from command line or in a playbook task. A module is a reusable standalone script that Ansible runs on your behalf either locally or remotely. Modules interact with your local machine, an API, or a remote system to perform specific tasks like changing a database password or spinning up a cloud instance. Each module can be used by the Ansible API or by the Ansible or by the playbook programs. A module provides a defined interface, accepts arguments, and returns information to Ansible by printing a JSON string to standard output before exiting. If you need functionality that is not available in the thousands of Ansible pre-written modules found in collection, you can easily write your own custom module. In previous session, I have shown you the Ansible ad hoc command syntax. In this syntax, you will find that we use the module with option -m. So you can see this column where we are using option -m with different commands. These are called the modules. Like you can see the yum module there, shell module there, user module there. So these are some pre-written modules that we can use in the ad hoc commands and in the playbooks. Each one is used for this specific purpose, and there are thousands of modules available for Ansible. As I told you, there are a lot of pre-written modules available for different tasks. Ansible modules can be found on this link. If you will go to this link, you can see many of them there. Here we are going to discuss about some important and most frequently used modules in this tutorial, like the ping module. As you know that the ping module is used to check the connectivity with the nodes or the hosts, and we execute the command like this. We mention Ansible, after that we mention the group name, and then we mention the module name, that is ping, with option -m. And if we want to execute this command from the different account, we can also mention -u and the username there. So in the output, we see that the ping changes to pong if an SSH connection is established. I will show you the working of these modules on the terminal also later. The next module is the setup module. The setup module is used when we want to see the information of all hosts and their configurations. So we can execute the command like this, Ansible, after that we mention the group name, then we write -m, and then we write there the module name, which is setup, and after that we can mention the username with option -u if we want to execute it from the other account. This is the snapshot of the configurations of my machine that are running there in the VMware. It will show you the output. The next module is the copy module, which can be used to copy the files from the server to the client nodes. For example, suppose if we want to copy a file from the remote server to all the destination nodes, we can execute the command like this, Ansible, after that we mention the group name, then we mention -m for the module, then we mention the module name, that is copy, and after that we can mention the argument, and in the argument we can mention the source and the destination path there. And While mentioning the argument, we always use option -a, as I told you in the previous session as well. The next module is the yum module. As you know that yum command can be used to install or remove a package. In the same way, the yum module is used to install or remove the software package. And here the procedure is same, the syntax is same. We can mention the command Ansible. After that we can mention the group name, then we mention the yum module name with option -m, and after that we can mention the argument with option -a, and there we can define the name of the package. After that we can mention the state. If we want to install it, we can mention present there, or if we want to remove it, we can mention removed there. And to install these packages, it requires admin or the sudo privilege, so there we have to mention -become, because it will allow us to use the admin privilege. And after that we can mention the username, of course, with option -u if we want to do it from the other user account. This will install the Apache package on the host machines. And note that -become can be used instead of -s in newer versions of Ansible after 2.6. The next module is the shell module. When we want to run Unix commands, then we use the shell module. And to use this module, again the procedure is same. We write Ansible, after that we mention the group name, then we mention the shell module name with option -m. We write there shell, and after that we mention the argument with option -a, and there we can mention the command that we want to execute. This will display all the files present in our machine with their permissions. So for that we will mention ls-la in the argument field. The next module is the service module. We use service module not only to check the status of the service, but also to start or stop or reload the service. And for this we mention the command Ansible. After that we write the group name, then we use option -m, and after that we mention service there for the service module, and after that we can define the argument with option -a. There we can mention the name of the service, and in the state field we can write started or stop or status, and after that we can mention option -become, and of course we can use the username there with option -u. And this command will show us the status of the Apache on our machine, because we have mentioned the started there in the state of the argument. The next module is the debug module. To print a message on the hosts, we use debug module. And how to execute this? We mention Ansible, then the group name, then option -m, and there we will mention the module name, that is debug, and after that we will mention -a for the argument, and we will mention the message that we want to print in the quotes in the message field, and after that again we can mention option -u and the username if we want to do it from the other user account. So it will print hello on the client nodes. Now I will show you the working of these modules on the terminal. So we will go to our Ansible server and we will open terminal there. So you can see that this is the machine which we are going to use as Ansible server. This machine is running on CentOS 8, and we have two more machines running here which we are going to use as Ansible nodes, and all these machines are running on CentOS 8. On the first machine, which is the Ansible server, we have remotely logged in through Moba Extern, and there we will install Ansible first before we use the Ansible modules. So here we will execute the dnf install command, which will help us to install the EPEL repository first. I have already installed the EPEL repository package, that is why it is showing up as already installed. And in the next step, we can install the Ansible by running dnf install -y Ansible command. I have already installed the Ansible package as well. So after installing the Ansible packages, you can verify the Ansible version. You can write there Ansible -- version. It will show you the details of the version of Ansible that you are using. My version is 2.9.23. After that, we will make the passwordless authentication for any normal user account. So let's switch in the account of Vikas Nehra user. This user is locally present on all the nodes, and this user is there in the sudoers file as well, means he has the sudo privilege. Now we are going to make the passwordless authentication, so we will execute ssh-keygen command. This command will generate the SSH public and the private keys, and after that we can copy these keys on the nodes. So we can execute ssh hyphen copy hyphen id command, and after that we can mention the name of the user and @ and the IP address of the nodes. The first node IP address is 192.168.174.128. After that it will prompt us for the password of this user, and after providing the password it will copy the file there, which will help us for the passwordless authentication. Now we will follow the same procedure on the second one. Let me write here yes, let me provide the password for Vikas Nehra, and we are done. Now we will verify whether the passwordless authentication is working or not. So we will simply try to do SSH here in the node machine. So you can see that we are in the node 2 machine without using the password of Vikas Nehra user. Now let me come out. So we have successfully set up the passwordless authentication for Vikas Nehra user who will be using Ansible modules, and I have already made an entry in the Ansible hosts file. Let me show you. So these are the node machine IP addresses, and I have put them in the my group in the hosts file. After that I can save it. Now I'm going to show you the working of these modules. The first module is the ping module, with which I will check the connectivity of the Ansible server with the node machines. So I will write here Ansible. After that I will mention the group name, which is my group. After that I will mention the module name with option -m, and the module name is ping. So this command will show us the connectivity. So you can see that we got the response as pong. That means the proper connectivity is there between the Ansible server and the nodes. Now we will check the next module, which is the setup module, and the setup module is used when we want to see the detailed information of the hosts and their configurations. So I can execute the Ansible command there. After Ansible command I will mention the group name, which is my group, then -m for the module. After that I will write their setup and press enter. So it will show us the details of the hosts and their configurations. Have a look at this. So both the modules are working fine. Now let's test the third module, which is the copy module. Before show you the working of the copy module, let me create a file here which I will copy from the Ansible server to the client nodes. So I will create a file here with the name as cal.txt. So this is the file which I just created, and this file contains the calendar of July 2021. Now I'm going to copy it on the client nodes by using the copy module. So I will use the Ansible command, Ansible my group. After that the module name with option -m, and in the module name I will write copy. Then I will mention the argument with option -a, and in the quotes I can mention the source path first. Source is equal to /home/Vikas Nehra /cal.txt, which is the name of the file, and after that I will give one space and I will mention the destination path. So I'll write here dest, and I'll define the destination on the client nodes. I want to copy it in the temp directory, so I will write there temp, and I can press enter here. If I want to do it from the other account, I can mention -u and the username also. So you can see that the files have been copied there on the node machines. Now let's check if the file is there or not. So I will go on the node 2, and there I'll go to the tmp directory and I'll do ls. So you can see that the cal.txt file is present, and you can see the contents there. It contains the July month calendar, so that means we have successfully copied the file there. Let's come back to the Ansible server. The next module is the yum module, which can be used to install or remove the software package on the client nodes. Let me show you that we don't have a package on the client node. So I will do SSH on the client node, and there I will check for the httpd package. So I will execute rpm-qa grep httpd, and you can see that there is no httpd package present. Now I will come back on the Ansible server controlling machine, and here I will use the yum module to install this package on all the nodes which are there in this group. So I will mention here Ansible, then the group name which is my group. After that I will mention the module name with -m, and in the module name I will write there yum, and after that I will define the argument with option -a, and in argument I will mention everything in the quotes. So I will mention the name of the package first in the name field, which is httpd. Then I will mention the state. State is used to install or remove the package. Here I will mention present since I want to install it, and I will close it in single quotes, and after that I will mention -become here because it requires the admin privilege, so we will have to use option -become. Then I can mention the username with option -u. I will write there Vikas Nehra. So this command will install the httpd package on all the nodes which are there in the my group, and it will do it with the sudo privilege since the Vikas Nehra user is already present in the sudoers list. So this command will allow him to install the packages on the client nodes. Once the packages are installed, we will verify them. So you can see that we got the result as installed. After that we can verify whether we are able to see these packages there or not. So let me do SSH on the client node. So I will mention the IP address here 192.168.174.134, and let me log in from the root user account there. Now I will search for this package, so I can execute rpm-qa pipe grep httpd, and you can see that the httpd packages are now visible. That means the command which we have executed from the Ansible server is working fine, and we are able to install the packages. Now let's go back to the Ansible server, and this time we will use the yum module again to remove these packages. So in the state field we will mention there removed. So instead of present I will write there removed, and this command will remove all the httpd packages which we have installed earlier on the client nodes. So you can see that it is now removing the packages. Now we will verify whether the packages have been removed or not. So we will go on the client node, and there we will execute rpm-qa pipe grep httpd command. So you can see that all the packages are gone. Now let's come back to the Ansible server, and we will check the next module, which is the shell module. And you know that we use the shell module to run the Unix commands. And suppose I want to list all the files which are there in the home directory of the Vikas Nehra user in different nodes. So I can execute Ansible my group. After that I will mention -m, and there I will write shell, and I'll use -a for the argument, and in argument I will write ls-al. It will list all the files including the hidden files, and after that I can mention the name of the user. So I will write there -u Vikas Nehra. So this command will list all the files which are there in the directory of Vikas Nehra user in different nodes, and you can see them here on the Ansible server. So the shell module can be used to run the Unix commands on the node machines. Now let's proceed further. The next module is the service module, and when we want to ensure the state of a service, or if we want to stop or start or reload the service, we can use this module. Suppose if I want to see the status of the SSH service, I can execute this command like this: Ansible. After that I will mention the name of the group, which is my group, -m, and after that I will write their service for the module, and I will mention the argument with option -a, and there I will mention everything in the quotes. I will mention the name first, which is SSHD for SSH service. Then I will write state, and state should be started. So I will mention there started. I will close it, and after that I will mention -become because it requires sudo privilege or the admin privilege. And after that I will use option -u, and I can mention the name of the user which is Vikas Nehra. So this command will show us the status of the SSH service on the node machines. The next module is the debug module, and debug module can be used to print a message on the hosts. So we can execute the command like this: ansible, then the group name, which is my group. After that -m for the module, and we will write there debug. And after that we will mention the argument with option -a, and there we will mention message is equal to hello, and we will enclose it in quotes. And after that we can mention the name of the user, of course, like this. So this command will print hello there. So you can see that we are able to print hello there on the nodes from the Ansible server. So in this way you can use these Ansible modules for these specific tasks, and there are such thousands of Ansible modules which are already defined there, and you can create your custom modules as well as per the requirement. So guys, that's it from my side for today's session. I hope you will find this session useful for you. If you like it, then do share it with your friends and colleagues and give a like to this video. And if you are new on this channel, then please subscribe us and turn on the bell notification. I will see you in the next one. Till then, bye bye. Jai Hind, Vande Mataram.